Hey you guys, so it has been quite a while since I have filmed or put a video up or anything. I know that's kind of surprising because it's not what I had planned at all. It's been about 6 weeks since I have put a video up. I did have our baby, our brand new baby. He is here and I will introduce him to you in just a minute. The birth went fine. The C-section went absolutely fine. However, afterwards, he was born with crying, perfect APGAR scores, everything. He came out very, very healthy. However, within about half an hour of him being born, he wouldn't eat and his blood sugar dropped, which is a very, very normal thing for babies. What ended up happening is his lungs collapsed, partly because he was so premature and partly because he was a C-section baby and all the fluid wasn't pushed out of his lungs. So within half an hour to an hour of him being born, he did go to the NICU. He was in the NICU for 9 days, which is a really long time, especially when we were told when he was first admitted that he might be there for 1 or 2 days. And apparently that's something they're never supposed to tell you when a baby goes in the NICU. Is they're not supposed to give you a time limit. They're not supposed to say, oh, your baby will be at in this many days. They did with us, and that made it even harder, especially when we didn't get to bring him home until a week after he was born. We were spending basically all of our time at the NICU. Thankfully, my mom watched our kids for the whole 9 days that we were in there and took really, really good care of them so we could focus completely on our new baby and how he was doing. So he was on a CPAP machine in an incubator for the first 3.5 days. Then he was taken off of that and in an open crib, and the CPAP machine was removed. He was breathing on his own, which is excellent. But then he had to be able to take all of his feeds by bottle because he was also getting tube fed. And it took him another several days to take all of his feeds by bottle because they have to do that very, very slowly. Otherwise, if you try and do too fast, the babies can get exhausted. They can aspirate liquid back into their lungs, things like that. So it did take a while. But he is home now and healthy and throwing a fit, so I'm going to go and get him real quick. Everyone, I want to introduce you to the newest member of our family. This is Sean Patrick, who loves his pacifier and is rather fussy right now because he hasn't been being cuddled. He gets very grumpy when he is not cuddled. So, he is adorable. He is very big because he has gained, he's gained back his birth weight plus some, which is really good. And I'm happy to let you guys know he is very, very healthy now. He's been to the pediatrician twice so far for extra checkups, and he is doing amazingly. So, he's very, very happy and very not impressed by the studio lights in my office. So I'm going to go and put him down and get him down for a nap, and then I will be right back to explain the rest of the C-section and the healing time and the reason why it's been so long since I filmed a video. Alright you guys, I am back. I want to kind of explain why I was gone for so long, even though Sean was only in the NICU for 9 days. During that time, I wasn't able to do what you normally do after a C-section, which is rest and eat well and relax and try and heal. I was basically coming to and from the NICU constantly. We had to leave the NICU for all of our meals. We were there from about 9 a.m. to 10 or 11 p.m. every single day because we wanted to make sure that we were taking care of his feedings as much as we possibly could. We didn't want to leave that up to the nurses. We even spent the night there on the last night before he was discharged, just to make sure that nothing happened. We really wanted to be there as much as possible. And it was really hard for me being separated from one of my kids, because with all my babies, I had them with me right away immediately. And being so far separated from him was really, really hard. So we were trying to spend as much time there as possible. So I didn't get to rest because I was constantly walking back and forth from the Nicu to the cafeteria, running out and getting things we needed. We thought he was going to come out tiny. He came out at 6 pounds 5 ounces, and his head was in the 90th percentile. So none of the preemie clothes we had purchased for him were able to fit over his head. And we had a bunch of newborn onesies for him, but we didn't have any newborn sleepers, and he was having trouble maintaining body temperature, so he had to be really, really layered up. So we had to run out and get a bunch of newborn sleepers for him so he could be in his own clothes and not have to be in the NICU's borrowed clothes, which they always automatically put the babies in the NICU borrowed clothes that when they come out of the isolette. That way it gives a sense of normalcy to the parents and really helps with things like that. And they said he could either keep wearing these or we could bring in our own, and of course we wanted to bring in our own. But because of all that running back and forth and everything we needed to do and handle, I didn't get much of a chance to rest and heal. And a C-section is so much different than a standard birth. It takes a lot longer to heal. I mean, the way you're healing is totally different, but it's a lot more painful. It requires a lot more medication, and I swelled up as well, which didn't happen with any of my other babies. But because of all the fluids they pumped in me, I was swollen for 2 weeks after giving birth. And I was swollen up so big that I could not wear a single pair of shoes I had. Even my flip-flops, I could not get them on my feet. So I actually had to wear my Hello Kitty slippers, which thankfully have rubberized bottoms, but they're like the boot-style slippers. I wore those everywhere because they're the only thing I could wear. I mean, I wore them all around the hospital. I wore them to Babies R Us. I wore them to the cafeteria to eat. I wore them home. I pretty much wore them everywhere. And I would get the weirdest looks from people like, why is this lady wearing Hello Kitty slippers? I'm like, it's the only thing that can fit on my feet. And even people were like, well, why didn't you just wear your flip-flops? I'm like, those don't fit either. My feet were literally swollen, so huge. And it was bad. Like, I could press my thumb into it and it would leave an indent like that deep. Insane. But anyway, between the pain, the swelling, just sheer exhaustion, barely functioning at this point. When we finally got home with Sean, I just needed to rest. I had lost a lot of blood during C-section. Not like a ton, not nearly as much as I should have, actually. I did really well with that. But I tend to be very pale to begin with. I'm not anemic normally, but I do have very low blood pressure, like crazy low. Normal for me is like 90/60, which most people are like passing out at that level. So having lost a good amount of blood, it definitely took a lot out of me. It's taken some adjustment getting used to having lower energy levels for a while. Not to mention, you know, I've been homeschooling 2 of the kids, dealing with our 3-year-old who is very excited about having a baby brother, but still a little, you know, having just a little bit of that I'm not getting as much attention type of attitude. And then dealing with a newborn baby who needs a little bit of extra attention because he is early and I need to make sure that he's eating enough and everything with him is happening as it should to keep him as healthy as possible. About the time that Sean had been out of the NICU for a week, one of the guys that my husband works with was sick with a cold. Mike got the cold, passed it on to all of us except for the baby. Thankfully, the baby did not get the cold. Everyone else's colds went away in 2 to 3 days because my immune system was down from the surgery and all the blood loss, all that fun stuff. My cold lasted a week and then turned into bronchitis. I'm now on my 3rd week of bronchitis right now. If you notice a lot of jump cuts in this video and a ton of editing, that's where I'm cutting out all my coughing because I'm still going into coughing fits. Thankfully, not as bad as I was. I'm almost completely healed, thankfully. And it's just viral bronchitis, nothing that would pass on to anyone else. But I lost my voice for an entire week. Didn't fully lose it, but to the point where I sound like I'm an 80-year-old smoker with emphysema and can barely get out more than half a sentence without going into a coughing fit. Yeah, that was me for about a week to 2 weeks. So I'm finally feeling good enough that I can actually talk, which is a huge thing when it comes to filming videos. So between dealing with all the newborn baby things, my own physical healing from the C-section, and having bronchitis and not being able to talk, hopefully that explains why I haven't had any videos up lately. I have like one video pre-filmed that I was going to put up, but I didn't want to put it up until after I introduced you guys to the baby. So I've pretty much been absent from everything. Here, social media, I've kind of just pulled a hermit and hid in my house. Been going out a lot on the weekends with my family, going to the park, etc., trying to get in a lot of that time that we missed. And yeah, just healing and getting into the flow of things and back to normal. And today is October 1st, which really felt like the perfect day to get back into things because it is the month of Halloween, which is one of my very favorite holidays. You guys know me, I love Halloween. I always try and go big for this season. I don't know if I'll be able to go big this Halloween. I may only get a small handful of specifically Halloween tutorials up just because things are still so crazy. Sean is sleeping about 6 hours at night, which is really, really good. But it's definitely an adjustment going from 3 kids to 4 kids. It's a lot to deal with, especially when 2 of those kids would normally be going off to school all day, and they're not. They're home with me. So I just wanted to introduce you guys to our newest little squish. Let you know that some of my videos might be more vlogging videos. Over the next few months, I might do a bit more vlogging and a few less sit-down videos, depending on what we're doing that week, how crazy things get, just because sometimes it's easier to have a vlogging camera and be walking around and talking to you guys rather than make the time to fully sit down in my office and film more of a formal video. But I will be filming again. I will try and get a couple videos up a week for you guys. Of course, that will be more and more as time goes on and we get more into the flow of things and I get better at handling things with a newborn in the house, because I didn't start this channel until my youngest was almost 2. So I've never had the experience of trying to fit in filming around the schedule of a newborn, which is so much different than a 6, 5, and almost 4-year-old who are very independent and don't need me constantly caring for them. But Sean is fussing again, so I'm going to wrap this up real quick. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for all your thoughts and support and your patience with me. And to all my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing, and I cannot wait to share some new videos with you guys. I will be back on all of my social media. My blog is down right now. I will be getting that up again sometime within the next month, up and running again. So if you've tried to contact me via email and haven't been able to get a hold of me, that is why, because my blog has been down and my email's connected to it. So, yeah, crazy. World has been crazy lately. But I wanted to thank you guys again for just being so nice and so sweet. And you're going to see me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook again. Prepare for tons of cute baby photos on Instagram because I didn't want to put any up until I made this video. And it was kind of killing me not to be like cute baby goodness on Instagram. So now that things are back to normal and I have this video up and you guys have met Sean, I'm going to probably be flooding you guys, so I'm sorry. There'll still be other things up there too though. Don't worry, it's not going to become all baby all the time. I promise. I can't handle that. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, I would love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. You can also keep up with me on my blog once it's back up, which is joannabrooks.net. And on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook, I will actually be posting now that things are somewhat back to normal. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys again very soon. Bye.